Hello there, my name is Linda, also known as Tortagialla around the internet. I love creative journaling and all things stationery. So as I go through my collection of old journals and decide whether I will be archiving, recycling, or upcycling them, I'm just going to share a flip through every week so that I also have a digital copy for myself. This particular journal that I am sharing is an art journal that I made by hand. Basically, I used a scrap piece of black leather and sort of patched work together a bunch of other pieces of leather and sewed all these different signatures in. It's very floppy, very soft. You can see I did a lot of hand stitching around the edge as well. It's definitely very messy, very DIY, but it works. It's a floppy sort of leather cover with painting paper inside that is very, very thick. It's like 300 or 400 GSM paper, so I think that's why it holds up well. So the front is decorated, have some paint with art journal sort of stenciled out with letter stickers and just like painted over them. So lots of signatures sewn in by hand with just some like twine string. So this is the flip through. So on the front here, on the left hand side, I have an Art Saves sticker that is from crescendo.com. And I just used to follow a lot of people. I'm not really sure what year this is from, maybe 2017 or around that time. So the first page here, you can see I was very still into the mixed media, using a lot of paint and stamping and scratching into the paint and collaging with book pages and ribbon and just writing over it, have a picture in there. Definitely that sort of art journaling mixed media style. So you can see more collaging of like stamps and ephemera and just sort of doodling, drawing, stamping, writing. It's not always very like long form type of journaling, but rather just snippets here and there. This sort of like mixed media art journal type of creativity is definitely a little bit more based on like drawing and doodling and just playing with colors. I obviously have very plain pages as well, where it's just like, um, doodles and writing some phrases or thoughts that came to mind, a splash of paint, but of course it looks almost like unfinished, but these are like the true, authentic, quote unquote sketchbook pages or art journal pages. Not every page is like, completely, like painted over. So here's another mixed media page about my dog when I got him. So this must have been a while ago. Although I might have just been, this is like from 210 or something like that. So it was just talking about like his original name and how we changed his name, and I was trying to doodle him and stamping. And here we have a painted background, but I actually just washi taped in like a pencil drawing that I was trying to just, learn a little bit more about drawing. But I definitely fall back to my cute doodling that is very simple and sort of cartoony, childlike. And here I have like a textured, embossed tag that I had wrapped over. It's like embossed and then painted over with that color, sort of like vintage look. And you can see here, a lot of my pages have just like color, like smushed, into the background. And I'm not very skilled in painting at all. It's more so I use it like to add color to a page, to just play around. And you can see that mostly I doodle over it. So some like pattern making kind of doodling, or just, random lettering, or just my like sort of natural messy handwriting, like writing down that phrase or thought that I had for that particular page. So again, you could see the paint is really just like a background sort of playing around, and it's more of like doodles added on top, or a doodle that I did like on a scrap piece of paper that I'm like pasting in. So again, here you could see I actually like journaled about something and then like smushed the paint over because I don't really care to need to like read it again. It was really just getting something out, and you can probably tell by the colors, it's sort of like anger. And again, more doodles that I often just draw on like whatever papers around me, so I might be adding or like tipping it in. Here is another just sort of playing around page where I put on paint like really, really thick. So it's very like textured. So it was sort of hard to draw on top of like a textured kind of page. So you can see I doodled on another piece of paper and just cut it out and sort of added it in. And here I have some ephemera from like some beer place that we tried out, and there was like the packaging, and so I was just adding that in, sort of like random, almost like memory keeping. But then on the right there's like more drawings and just random collage of playing around with lettering with like markers and inks and things for the background. And this is a page that is painted with that background like color, and then I was using white on top to just create some abstract motifs and imaging and things like that, and writing no beauty, and definitely, you know, just my thoughts for that particular day, but putting it out in a visual form. And on the right hand side there's strawberry shortcake, but I sort of like cut it out from somewhere and stuck that in with some journaling. I do like this spread. And here we have another spread that is just like splashes of color. Yet again, I'm mostly just use the paint for that splash of color, and then like journaling over and writing thoughts and notes and ideas and things like that here and there. Here on the left-hand side, I have actually a postcard that I really liked from Barcelona, so I just sort of wanted to keep that. But the background is definitely just smushing paint around again, just like colors that I like, and, you know, journaling a bit about that postcard, the fact that it has a turtle in it, it's like getting smashed. And this is another spread where there's more doodling. That was from you know, my very cartoony, doodly kind of way. There are some like design ideas that I was trying to work out, just some splash of paint color, but really just like writing out some thoughts, almost like a poem. I mean, if you can call it that, but thoughts like phrases out, written out. And on the right hand side, that's actually like a clothing tag that I really like because it was cute and more doodling. Here on the left hand side is actually a painting. I think it's like a watercolor sort of slash mixed media painting that I did. And I actually printed it out again because I was working with it digitally and made it into like a little tag and put it on that page with that painted background again. And on the right hand side, I have this 2011, so I guess it's around that time, 2011 manifesto where I was just typing out phrases that I would try to focus on for my life. And I think that applies probably all the time, so it doesn't have to be 2011, but, you know, and beyond, I guess. So this is another, I wrote like, she's my default girl, because I pretty much always doodle girls like that just by default. And on the right hand side, I have a sticker there that everybody loves, an Italian boy. It's like the Mario. It's just really cute. So I kept that with some like ephemera of like wine and washi tape and just random things stuck in. So again, the background is just like playing with paints and like smushing them in. And originally I had made this art journal with this super thick painting paper. It's like 300 or 400 GSM, like Fabriano painting paper, because I thought I wanted to paint, and I did like using the paint, but again, I'm not a painter, I'm not skilled, and I was really just smushing colors around more than anything, and then I would just add my doodles on top. So I don't know if I necessarily advanced my creative learning in creating like and going through this art journal, because I'm not really melding like the two, you know, like the painting and drawing. It's really just like an eclectic mishmash, like scrapbooky style of making some backgrounds with paint and then just like doodling, adding my doodlings on top, or a little snippet of a phrase or a journal entry or something on top. And I found myself like realizing, okay, I don't need to force myself to like have to paint just because it seems to be such like a trendy mixed media kind of thing. I really just like doodling more than anything. So you can see I still have the splashes of color and things like that, or writing something, but it's really the doodling, which is what I am much more drawn to. On the right hand side here, I have this illustration of a girl that was actually used for the Babykins magazine. So that was a fun project to work on. Here we have more smushing of color, but really it's just my doodles of the ladies. And I think I do these a lot where it's just like scribble circle and then like draw a face in it kind of thing. So just fun exercises and like experimenting with creating hair. And I think it's a really fun exercise to always just like draw a circle and then see what comes out of it. So a circle can turn into like so many different things, right? Like a face, an animal, something like that. So here's another little girl illustration. Then I have like some ephemera and then a little dragon illustration. So again, doodles, 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 and just sort of realizing like that is my thing. So I still use some of the paper, and there's like a big cutout there. I don't know, it must have been some kind of creative exercise. I don't even really remember why I did that. But I'm just smashing color onto pages, but really the highlight and real content of these pages are really more the doodles that I'm pasting in. And the reason why I'm pasting them in is because it's really hard to doodle on top of paint and if there's like texture, and this paper is actually really, really rough and textured. So this final page here just has like a little heart drawing, and then this whole write-up where I'm sort of, it's like 2012, I think, and I'm just writing to myself about creativity, my thoughts, things like that, about, you can pause it and read it, but like, just giving myself some pep talk. And that is the last page of this journal. And that is my flip through. So I hope you enjoyed taking a peek into this journal. There's definitely a lot of pages that I do really like. So I don't know if I would, maybe I do want to keep this one out of all the different ones, but I don't know. There's just so many journals. It's hard to know sometimes what to keep, what not to keep. I mean, I know it's just one book, but like when you create, imagine if you go through and create an art journal every single month. In a year, that's 12 different volumes. And over like 10 years, that's like 120, 20 years, 204. Like that's just a lot. Not everyone has that much space, which is why I am trying to at least get like a digital copy of the flips and then just sort of decide afterwards, once I go through everything, then I can like see, okay, these are all of them, and like what do I really, really want to keep, and what can I do without, and just have like a digital copy of it, and that would be okay. So that's my considerations. So thank you so much for watching this video and taking a peek into this journal with me. And by the way, if you want to support me, I am working to increase my subscribers and watch time. So watch and share my videos. If you like them, that would be a great help to me. I'm also a digital designer. I post my digital printables on Ko-fi for my supporters there. And I also have a blog with free printables for journaling, collaging, mixed media, paper crafting on my blog, tortagialla.com. So just check the description below for all the information and links. Thanks so much, and until next time, bye.